Good evening, fuckers. We are back with the next Train Simulator Classic request video, and there's a bit of a story behind this one. Yesterday, MikkDC uploaded a video of Train Sim World 6, and it was showing the new remastered version of the Great Western Line, and there's no denying it looks great. Audio is great. Everything about it all looks pretty good. The only thing I'm not keen about with that one is the length of it. I don't know if I'm maybe not seeing the whole thing, but to me it looks like the entire length of it is London to Reading. That's very short, considering that for the same price, this Western Mainlines one here will allow us to do London to Cardiff. Now, okay, it doesn't look as good, but it plays just as well, hopefully. I guess we'll find out. Anyway, the point is that when he got to the end of the run, once the station announcer finished reading out for about 10 times that the next train that was leaving was his one that had only just arrived, and it was going from London Paddington to London Paddington, eventually it started reading out the other services that were going to be leaving the station. I mean, if you really want, go and take a look at the video, and I left a comment there with the timestamp, which is when it read out a particular service that rather caught my interest, which was the 15:15 London to Cardiff Central. And platform 9, I believe it was leaving from. And hearing that, I thought, yeah, that wouldn't be a bad run to do, especially as I can now do it, because, yeah, this route is sort of making its debut, I suppose, because we've done this run quite a few times, but there is a section of it that, yeah, I didn't have in any other line. We've done London Cardiff before in a live stream, but that had to be spread across 3 DLCs. Now we're doing it in just the one, and we are staying on the Western, the Great Western Main Line all the way through to Cardiff. We're not having to turn off and take the South Western Expressways. So yeah, we are starting at London Paddington. Our destination is Cardiff Central, so you can see 145.4 miles. And our stops along the way, we will stop at Reading, Didcot Parkway, Swindon, Bristol Parkway, and then Cardiff Central. So there's not a lot of stops. So it is sort of an express service. Our train, unsurprisingly, is a Class 43, and it is a Valenta engined 43. The only thing that has changed between the trains that were shown at the end of his vid and here, I've changed the livery. I quite like this livery. This is the Great Western Trains livery rather than the GWR livery. But yeah, it does look pretty good. So we're in what would be a standard consist for the time that this particular train company is in operation. So it's 2 and 8, 2 drive cars, 8 coaches. And for the specifics, it's summer and it's clear because I want to be able to see the scenery. This will be the first time I've driven any sort of distance on the Western Mainlines route DLC, and we are doing 145 miles of it. So, and the time is 15:15 because that's the time that was announced in the by the station announcer yeah, in MikkDC's video. Now, it's going to be a bit after 15:15 when we finally leave, because this train takes a bit of setting up, because we are going to be using the ATP system. So, anyway, that is the setup. Let's get this up and running. And here we are. Yeah, that is, I would imagine, putting it very mildly. As you can see, 145.37, yeah, 145.37 miles, and we do have AI trains here. Now let's just yeah, increase that. We certainly want to increase that. Right, let's get the train set up initially. So we yeah, want to sort the lights out. So we want marker lights on and the tail lights off. That's actually, yeah, I just realised that's the brake test that I've set up there, not the lights. There we go. We'll turn on train supply, the ETS. So let's take a look. Here is our Class 43 and the Great Western Trains livery. I must admit, I do really like this livery. It looks great. Have a look at the rear. Yeah, we are all set. So let's let the passengers on. And while that is happening, we need to continue the setup because we haven't finished yet. Because yeah, we need to get the ATP set up. So first of all, it does the self-test. And we have to set this up because otherwise this train does not release its brakes. So SP is okay. Click on again. Continues with the rest of the test. And it's okay, so we are good to go. I think we need to just okay that. There we are. Right, we have not yet finished because we now need to put in the data entry. This is still part of the ATP system, so I'll put in my PIN number, which is 147, and then we need to put in the number of vehicles that this consist has, which is 10, 8 coaches, 2 drive cars. So we want standard, yes. So it's now waiting for the confirmation. Is that correct? Yes, it is. And the ATP, there you go, is now ready. I could close this up, but you know, we'll leave it open. So the ATP system, I think it might be because I'm doing a quick drive thing, but yeah, it's showing here 125 mph, which is the max speed of the train, you know, at any time, but it doesn't take into account any of the like speed restrictions that may be in place. Say we got a 40 mph limit as we pull away. I don't honestly know why it does that. It may be the way that I've actually got the ATS set up, ATP sorry set up, but yeah, it should be allowing us, or it should be showing with the green LED here, like the actual speed limit of the section we are in. Anyway, we are now able to release the brakes. Let the guard know that we are all set. Let's get underway. Check our thrash and our clag consist. Yeah, still rather clean as we pass this first Great Western HST. So we're certainly not leaving from platform 9, in fact yeah, platform 5 we left from, but so it's not quite exactly as it was for the you know, continuation from MikkDC's video, but it's near enough. It looks a bit like an underground train that's up ahead there, either an S8 or an S7+1. It is. Yeah, from here I can't tell which one it actually is. Alright, let's get ourselves up to 40 mph. Now, the message did say to save regularly because of how memory intensive this run is. What I will do is I will save at every station. It is a bit immersion breaking, but it's better than, you know, interrupting the thing like every 10 minutes or so and saving. So as I think I said anyway, the stations we will be stopping at are Reading, Didcot Parkway, Swindon, Bristol Parkway, and then Cardiff Central. So not a lot of stops. It's a real express run that we are doing here. So we're now in a 50 zone. I'll tell you what, let's you know, I've got to get here actually. There we go. Yeah, I will close that up. Looks a bit untidy with that thing left open. So yeah, here is our class 43/1 to be precise. It is a Valenta engine. I think I've mentioned that at the start as well. I do have the VP 185 engine class 43s, but yeah, I'm all about the Valenta engine with these things. Well, the 185, the VP 185 engine drives well enough, but the sound is not right, and it's not even close to being right. So yeah, we are in the process of entering the 100 zone, and we're now in it. Let's give it some proper full throttle. Get ourselves up to 3-figure speeds. So I think that is the Acton train yard. You can see we are in a section that is electrified. the electrification here is, well, really it's for the Heathrow Express, at least certainly at the time that this route was done. Nowadays, of course, it's also there for the Elizabeth line, but I don't think that was up and running when this route was published. So we do have a 125 zone coming up in a mile and a half. We are not going to be doing 100 before we enter that 125 zone, so we're okay. Now, the reason that we are stopping at the stations that I mentioned is because those were the stations that were listed by the announcer at the end of MikkDC's video. Let's face it, the rate I'm going here, you're pretty much going to have to see his video before you get any ideas of watching this one. So I can't remember what station that is. It could be Ealing Broadway, but I'm pretty sure we've already passed that. Yeah, you saw the sign there, trackside sign. We are now entering the 125 zone. We are now in it. You can really hear the whine of the turbos. This looks like a fairly major station here. No idea which one it was. So according to the ETA, this run is going to take about 2 hours, which means it will still be quicker than when I did the previous run. But then that previous run, which I did on a live stream, the previous London to Cardiff run, and that was in a class 43 as well. That was in a Dovetail Games 43. But yeah, with that one, I had to break it up into 3 parts, as I said in the introduction. And I had to go via the again, not sure what station that was, but I had to go via the South Western Expressways, purely because the Great Western Mainline, I only had that route up as far as Oxford. Obviously Oxford is not actually on the Great Western Main Line, but I had the branch, that came off here, which then went as far as Oxford, and so it meant I couldn't even get as far as Didcot on the Great Western Main Line. So in fact I had to stop very early on this route, and I had to stop at Reading and then change and take carry on westwards via the South Western Expressways. So this is South Hall Station. Hayes and Harlington is the next station. Now, as far as just sheer performance goes, the one area where the VP185 engine, 43s, and the MTU engine ones for that matter, actually have any sort of real advantage over the Valentas, is that their acceleration once you reach 100 mph, it's a lot better with the MTU or the VP185 engines. The Valenta, I mean, obviously you can do it. Here we are at Hayes and Harlington. Yeah, obviously you can do it, but it's a bit slow. Next station is West Drayton. I think that might be the station where the overhead electrification will sort of turn off, because yeah, it will follow the route down to Heathrow. It won't stay on the... Okay, there you go, it's gone. I am pretty sure they are in the process of yeah, adding electrification to the entire Great Western Mainline. That's going to take some doing, especially if they are following the entire route. I don't know if that means going all the way to Cardiff. It could mean going all the way to Swansea. Here is West Drayton. We are up to 120. Eva is the next station. Now, for some reason, it sounds like the engines have switched off and we are losing speed. Well, let's see if we can start them up again. And I've missed Eva station. I was supposed to do a in fact, yeah, the general fault light has come on and I have no idea why. Take a look. I certainly don't want the I can't see any. So is there a fault acknowledgement? Okay, well if there is, it would have been the F key, and as it does sound like yeah, the engines have started up again. So yeah, I can't find the fault acknowledgement button, but I know the keyboard shortcut for it, so we'll just use that. I suspect it was overheating because I had this thing in notch 5 for so long. Slough station coming up. That means Reading is probably not that far away. So by now you may well have got the idea a very general idea that driving the Class 43, especially the Armstrong Powerhouse one, is not as straightforward as, you know, the Dovetail Games one would have you think. That was Slough Station we just went through. But yeah, especially when the ATP system is included. Now, to be fair, there are far more Class 43s that do not have ATP than there are those that do have it. So if you would rather avoid having to use the ATP system, then the chances are whichever Class 43 you choose, you'll be alright. No idea which station this is. We are clearly going through the avoiding line. Don't need to worry about it. It does look like we have gone through an avoiding line where Maidenhead station is concerned, and I am not at all sorry about that. Now, I have been asked a question, and it's in relation to the fact that there is currently a steam sale for yeah, all oh, hang on, no, here comes Maidenhead station now. But yeah, there is currently all of the Train Simulator Classic and Train Simulator World like DLC and the game itself, all currently on sale prices on Steam. I don't think it's coincidence that I was asked this while, you know, this Steam sale is up and running. But I was asked, you know, what is the one route and one loco that you would recommend to people who are new to the game. That was a Class 20 that we just passed there. Specifically, it was an RHTT Class 20. Reed Hayworth's Tremendous Tits was getting another outing. So we've had another fault there, probably for the overheating, so we need to let it cool down. So yeah, a route and a loco that I recommend for players who are somewhat new to the game. Well, route wise, I think what you really want is one that at the very least offers you a decent sort of amount of variety, because I mean the ideal sort of routes really are sort of those that too soon after the off. There we go. I think we're all right now. Yep. So yeah, you want a route that has a good amount of, like, you know, fast sections which you can treat as an in-city run, a good amount of like commuter stops and suburban stops, so you've got that variety, some decent open country scenery. Of course you want some of that, and you want some good you know, town scenery as well. Now, there aren't a huge number of routes that do offer all of those things in one, but there is one that certainly springs to mind that that does. So that would be the route that I would recommend, and that is the Portsmouth Direct Line. Specifically the one that runs from Waterloo to Portsmouth Harbour. Because there are two Portsmouth Direct Line route DLCs. One goes from Portsmouth Harbour, and I think it goes as far as Woking, but that's as far as it goes. So we have Twyford Station coming up. So yeah, that is the route that I would suggest. The other route that I would have suggested for similar reasons is the Chatham Main Line, the one that goes to Ramsgate and Dover. But the question did specify people who are new to the game. Well, if you're that new to the game and you know you've only just bought it, then that route is bundled with the game when you first get it now. So I have a feeling you will already have that route. So it's Twyford Station. So yeah, the loco recommendation, now that is not so easy. I mean, you know, what are you wanting to drive? Are you wanting to drive steam trains? Are you wanting to drive electrics? Are you wanting to drive diesels? Well, if you're wanting to drive electrics, then you follow my suggestion or suggestions for routes. You are a bit limited because both of those routes are only third rail, so there's no point getting an electric train that requires 25 kilovolt AC electrification, because neither of those routes offer it. 95 mph so we are, yeah, we must be approaching Reading here. So we are going to be shifties on the old points as we approach Reading station. So we do have a 50 mph limit which we will be hitting, so yeah, the fact that we are well below this 60 zone that's coming up, yeah, no problem with that at all. So that 60 limit is surely where we are going over the points. We are now fine as well as far as the 50 speed limit, but we're probably going to need to lose a bit of speed anyway, or we're going to end up overshooting Reading Station. So we're in the 60 zone, so clearly, yeah, the points were not the 60 zone, it is the 50 zone. So yeah, here we go. It looked like a class 50 that was in a rail tour livery of some kind. We are well into the station now. The whole train is here just fine. So here we are at Reading. Let's just quickly do the save. There we go. So this thing is saying Cheltenham Spa. Well, we're certainly not going there. One thing I did forget to do. Yeah, here is Reading Station. So of course this is a Just Trains rendering of Reading Station, unlike any of the previous times we've been here. So yeah, we now get to see how it looks. To be honest, I think it looks pretty good. Right, now I'm fairly sure we've got the yeah, all the doors have shut. Yeah, all the doors are done. That's no problem. So we are ready to depart. So we now have just under 110 miles still to go. I don't really want to be overheating, so we won't keep it in notch 5 for too long. I don't think we really need it now. We'll put it down into notch 3. So our next stop will be Didcot Parkway. This will be the first time we'll have seen this station. Not sure what this route here is, but yeah, clearly electrified. Yeah, no idea what route that is. If anyone knows, feel free to let me know. It could be that, yeah, it's just the electrification process is still being done, because, yeah, some of these overhead pylons are clearly unfinished. So it could just be part of the electrification process, and they've not completed it yet. So we are now in a 60 zone. And we will once again be in a 125 zone in about 3/4 of a mile. So back to the question that I was attempting to answer. Yeah, which loco do I recommend? And yeah, it is a tricky one, that, because that is one where, yeah, it really does depend on what it is you are wanting to do. You know, do you want to drive steam trains? Do you want to drive diesels or electrics? Do you want to do passenger service or freight runs? You know, it's there is no right or wrong answer, really. So yeah, it sounds like I'm sitting on the fence, and I guess I am in a way, but yeah, I really couldn't give you an actual answer for that one. So for the route, I can definitely make the suggestion, which yeah, say either the Portsmouth direct line, London Waterloo to Portsmouth Harbour, or the if you haven't already got it, you know, bundled with the game, then yeah, the Chatham main line that goes from London to Dover and Ramsgate. But loco wise, I can't really give any sort of recommendation there. So Tilehurst is next. Not a particularly memorable station, that one. So I've nudged the throttle down to notch 4 because, well, no, I don't want to be overheating, but our acceleration rate is still pretty much the same as it was in notch 5, so we don't need to be generating the additional heat and additional stress to the engines by having it in notch 5 at the moment. No idea which station this is. quite a small one, whichever it is. So, Goring and Streatley is next. So Goring I know, Streatley no. So we're very near three figures as we go through Goring. So distance now is down to below three figures, 99.5 miles to Cardiff. Chelsea station next. Another rather small, uninspiring station really. Not a lot on there. A lot of very flat open country. I think it stays like this for much of the way towards Didcot. And obviously Didcot, we've got the power station there. So I think that's about all there is really worth looking at Didcot. It's not exactly a main tourist hub in this country. Ah, Didcot Parkway is indeed coming up next. We made it there a lot quicker than I thought we would. So somewhere around here must be the branch to take us up the the Oxford branch. And obviously we are not going to be taking it this time, unlike every other time we have been around here. And with this route DLC I have got the add-on so that that branch does carry right the way on to Bicester Village. I'm going to take it up to step 5. I'm not slowing down quick enough. So you can see Didcot Power Station suddenly appeared in the distance. So over there, that is the branch to Oxford. Coming in very slowly. I've gone from not slowing down fast enough to slowing down far too quickly. This is not the right spot for us, but it's certainly good enough. So here we are at Didcot Parkway. This is the first time I've seen this station in the game. So we need to save here. There we go. So there, as you know, that's the entrance to the around here, the big old train depot here at Didcot. And also you can just see, if you follow the lines around here and then it turns off that way, that will be the freight entrance to the power station. Looks like all the doors have closed. So I was still out here, so I didn't get the guard signal. There you go. That was both me and the guard signalling at the same time, so you can release the brakes. And of course we are pulling out straight into a 125 zone. Yeah, that's as good as the Clag gets, really. So we'll get us up to about 30 mph and then reduce the throttle down to notch 4. So certainly from here onwards, yeah, we're into a section that we would not see in any of the other route DLCs that I have. We do have the Didcot power station in the other Great Western Mainline route DLC, but I'm pretty sure we don't have any part of the Great Western Mainline itself on there. We certainly don't have our next stop, which is Swindon, and in fact, if memory serves, Swindon is the next station. It's not just the next stop, but there is quite a gap between here and Swindon. It's not like yeah, 5 minutes and we're there. Well, I think Swindon is roughly the halfway point of this journey. I mean, the halfway point is roughly 73 miles, so we'll see how that works out. Very much leaving Didcot behind. Still see the power station, but we will not be seeing it for much longer. Yeah, we all saw that one. So I'm fairly sure we're now in Wiltshire. I can't remember if Swindon is in Wiltshire or Gloucestershire. But, yeah, whichever it is. So I'm pretty sure we're in Wiltshire here. I mean, no shortage of farmland around here, or Gloucestershire for that matter. everything we're seeing here I'm seeing for the very first time, so this is all as new to me as it is to well, assuming that no one else who's watching this has driven this route before. This is another train we're seeing here. What we got here? It's a freight one, whatever it is. Class 47. So that was on the passing loop waiting for us. Up to 110. So yeah, the acceleration rate is still pretty good, despite the fact, yeah, we are only in notch 4 on the throttle. Our acceleration rate is not suffering for it, but we are not sort of, well, doesn't look like anyway, we are getting to the point where we're overheating. Almost looks like, yeah, there's a closed down station there. Did lose a bit of speed there. I think it's because of the gradients we're on. So Class 43's engines were all about getting pure speed. Torque figures are nothing special whatsoever. So I'm tempted to take us up to notch 5 to try and stop ourselves from losing any more speed, but I think that does also greatly increase the chances of the engine overheating, and then we are going to lose speed at a much greater rate than we are going uphill. As it is, we're going back downhill again, 1 in 199. That should help acceleration a bit, except that it's pretty much leveled out now. But we are up to 1 in, well, yeah, we're up to 113 mph. So we are just over halfway, or we are just about halfway. We haven't reached Swindon yet, which is by no means a bad thing. I don't think anybody is ever going to be in a desperate hurry to get to Swindon. So we have speed reduction coming up down to 85. We'll coast some of it, we'll use the brakes as and when it gets to the stage where we really will need to, but clearly Swindon station is fast approaching. We are in the 85 zone, we're well below it. So yeah, quite a large train depot here at Swindon. There's also a railway museum here. For the longest time they had the Evening Star on display here because this is where it was built, but it has since been moved. It's now in the main railway museum up in York. I mentioned when I did my video driving the BR standard class 9F, which is what the Evening Star was, Even though I don't have the proper Evening Star, I do have a train called the Evening Star. I think at some point I will have to do a video in it. If you are not familiar with the other train that's called the Evening Star, it might surprise you to see what it is. We've got here in this station, looks like a 165. Could be 166. In fact, with that livery, I think here it is a 166. Six-car 166 as well. We don't see too many of those. So, here we are at Swindon. Lucky old us. We've even got an advert for Just Trains, and there that looks like a 220. Might be a 221. Okay, if you want to be doing this run in a modern HST, it's the 222 that you really want to use. Just wait for the guard signal and that's it. So let the brakes release. So Cardiff is exactly 68 miles, so we are well over halfway now. Let's get back on the way. Yeah, she's standing rather close to the edge of the platform here. So, as we leave Swindon, I don't think too many people will be sorry that we are leaving it. Again, we'll get ourselves up to about 30 mph and then drop back down to notch 4. So we are now entering the 125 zone once more. So our next stop is Bristol Parkway. I think there may be 1 or 2 stations that we go through before we reach Bristol Parkway. So according to the ETA, we have just over an hour to go, but that's not taking into account our remaining stops. We've only got 2 more stops along the way. The next one at Bristol Parkway, then we have one at Newport, but that's it. so it's not going to you know, add too much time to our ETA. I mean, we've only been going like, you know, a few minutes over an hour. It's absolutely flown by. I think partly because so much of this route I'd never seen before. It's also the first time I'd driven this route DLC. And it's the first time I've really sort of like tried seriously driving an HST with the ATP system, because we're in an well, yeah, this HST has its ATP system is rather limited. It's not doing as much, so it's not very obtrusive, but then on the flip side it's not been very helpful either. So I'm wondering what these points that are coming up, what they are all about. Well, I hope it keeps us on the route that we are on here, and it doesn't move us down to Temple Meads. It really shouldn't be doing that. We should be going straight to Bristol Parkway. So you can see this 70 mph section that's coming up. That is clearly where the points are. And then we go onto a 100 zone, not a 125. So we are actually gaining speed because we are, well, we were, because we were going downhill. Now it looks like it's going to be moving us onto this line that's next to us. Well, if that's what it's doing, I'm alright with that. Oh, here we go. So entering a 100 zone. Okay, so we're all right so far. ETA is now less than an hour. We can take it back up to notch 4 again now. We're in a 110 zone, it's only 15 below the line speed. But yeah, the ATS should actually now be highlighting 115 here, but it's still just showing the train's max speed rather than the line's max speed. So I'm sure there is a way of getting it to do that, because I know from some older videos that's what it certainly used to do. So there must be a setting or something that I need to change, because if I'm going to use the ATP system, I keep calling it ATS, but yeah, ATP. Yeah, if I'm going to use it, I would rather, you know, use the full thing. And as you saw when we were starting up, this train, yeah, makes you use it. You cannot release the brakes until you've got the ATP system enabled. Speed is up to 3 figures again. Have a 125 zone cropping up, which is extremely welcome. Entering the 125 zone, and we are now in it. May need to go up the notch 5 for a bit, because this 1 in 300 is enough to keep our speed level. We're not gaining any. As it is, we're back to 110 in well, about a mile and a quarter, so it is not worth it. As it is, we are now up to 106, so we are still gaining speed, but at an incredibly slow rate. So that's the alert that yeah, the 110 zone's coming up. We don't need to worry about slowing down for it, we're still accelerating to it. So another 125 zone coming up in a mile and a half. Obviously I have no idea how long that zone will last. Hopefully it will be a reasonable amount of time. While a small tunnel, nevertheless it's the first tunnel of the run. I know somewhere on this route DLC is the box tunnel, but I have no idea, to be honest, where the box tunnel is. For all I know, that could have been it we just went through. We are now in the 125 zone. Well, it doesn't last a huge amount of time, but it's only a 5 mph drop that we've got coming up in a mile and a half down to 120. That is absolutely no problem. We're still accelerating, we're at 110. And we are on a 1 in 300 downhill. It's not likely to make a hell of a lot of difference, but a 1 in 300 uphill was enough to slow us down, so maybe this will be just about enough to help us speed up. It looks it. Acceleration is certainly a lot better now than it was. We're at 112, 113. Next tunnel coming up. This might be why the speed decrease has come about. Because we have significantly longer tunnels still to come, because we are going to be having to go through the 7 tunnel. It would appear though that this tunnel is at a fair old length. 100 mph limit coming up. So yeah, we've got to brake quite a bit harder than we are. Okay, that's more than enough. So we're in the 100 zone. It's me not paying attention. Well, coasting along like this will certainly give the engines a chance to cool down, so I'm alright with that. We are now in a 125 zone. I didn't even see that. I'm not sure what town that is we're passing there. We can't be that far from Bristol now. Right, we've got a 90 mph section coming up. That must be the approach to Bristol Parkway. Right, let's not worry too much about the 90 zone. It's the 40 and then the 25 we really need to worry about. And here it is, Bristol Parkway, 1.5 miles away. We have a solid yellow, but that 40 is almost certainly us going over points, so it's not particularly important. So we are fine for the 40 zone. We will need to lose a bit more speed though for the that's a red. Okay, we can go through it anyway, so here are the points that we are crossing onto. Cut the engines a bit too quickly there actually. Let's get ourselves up to 25 or thereabouts. So the 25 is another set of points we're going over. Yeah, I thought it would be putting us on here because I was seeing a lot of red lights, but there was one green light. Looks like we've got a either a 220 or a 221 there. Yeah, it looks like a 220. It's only a 4-car train, so yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a 220. So we haven't got the rear driver car on the platform, but we have got all of the passenger coaches, and that's the important thing. So we'll save here. So this is our last station in England. Our next stop is Newport, so we'll be in Wales there. This is Bristol Parkway station. Okay, it's not as big or impressive as Temple Meads, but it's still every bit as important. This station gets a hell of a lot of traffic. Okay, brakes are off. So as always, actually we'll take it up a little bit higher. We'll take it up to about 35 to 40 and then bring it down. Actually no, we won't take it up to 35 or 40 because we can only do 25. Good job I spotted that. So if we stayed on that line, that would actually be taking us down to Temple Meads. So yeah, we've got a few stations that we will be passing. Patchway here. We are now into a 60 zone. Yeah, I think after Patchway there's a station called something like Pillingdon or something like that. And then after that, I think it's yeah, the 7 tunnel, and then we have a 7 tunnel junction on the Welsh side. We are entering the 90 zone. So yeah, here's Patchway. So we're still part of Bristol. We are now in the 90 zone. So we start a fairly steep down the hill section, which we are fast approaching. There's quite a narrow tunnel here. This 1 in 80, we are going to continue to accelerate as we go along here. So we'll give the engine a chance to cool off a bit again. Now, is it Pilning or yeah, it is, yeah, Pilning. So that's the station I thought it was, or did I call it Pillingdon or something? But yeah, I knew it was Pill or something anyway. And then just to add to the confusion, there is a station somewhere around here called Pill. It's not on this line, it's on I think it's on the line that takes you to Avonmouth, and yeah, on that sort of section. So we are now on level ground. We have another speed reduction coming up, so alright, we'll continue coasting. So here is Pilning. Yeah, not exactly a lot on that station. We are going to be gaining speed as we come down here. to be braking a little bit harder. So here is, so I don't know if this is the 7 tunnel or not. Yeah, I think it is. Now, if we were doing a freight run, it probably would not have sent us through here. It might have depended on the freight we were carrying, but yeah, a lot of the time freight runs are not permitted to go through the 7 tunnel. So they have to take the old and very long way around via Gloucester. Now I suspect that if this yeah, was a freight run, and of course we're doing it via quick drive, it would, yeah, it would just be, it would send us through here anyway. We are approaching the somewhat steep uphill section. Let's put us in a notch 5. The detail here was certainly not as good as the 7 tunnel in the yeah, the other route that has it, but nevertheless it's certainly not bad. I put the speed back on too quickly. Now we're all right. So we are now in Wales anyway. So this is 7 tunnel junction, but it might just be 7 tunnel, but certainly these days it is known as 7 tunnel junction. Just caught that in time. So we are now in a 75 zone, very soon in a 90 zone. I think that's the fastest we can do for most of the Great Western main line while we are in Wales. There we go, so we're in a 90 zone, take it up to notch 4 again. So I think the next station that comes along is Newport, which is of course where we will be making our penultimate stop. ETA says that we have just over 20 minutes, and it is just over 20 miles. We do look like we are in the fast lane, but yeah, it's only 90. You'd have thought the fast line rather than fast lane, but you know what I mean. You'd have thought that it would have had a higher speed than just 90 mph. As it is, yeah, we have the approach to Newport station coming up on the route display. That's 75. We will certainly need a brake. Not going to make it just by coasting. well, I would have thought Newport station would have been on the display by now. Clearly this speed reduction as we approach it, yeah, a lot further away than expected. But that 40 must be the final approach to Newport station. Yeah, it looks like it's coming up. Or maybe not. Newport eastbound, so yeah, we're not quite there yet. I mean, I know Newport is fairly close to Cardiff, but I didn't realise it was this close. Alright, gonna have to let the speed drop a bit. So there it is on the route display now. So yeah, you guessed it. 1.5 miles away. Although we have seen some AI trains on this run, I was hoping to see a lot more than we actually have. So, you know, the 40 zone, one extremely over-engineered bridge. So we are going to be going over points. So that must be what the 30 limit is for. So I think that junction that we just passed from the other side to where we come in, that's coming in from the Welsh Marches. Because yeah, if you have that route DLC, Newport is where it ends, you can't go beyond there. No idea what river this is. It's a part of the old town walls or castle walls. Wondering what train that is that's in the station there. Looks like a 50. Yeah, it is a 50. Good to see the 50s cropping up. Stopping a little too quickly here. good now. So here we are at Newport. We'll just save again. Last time we need to save. So yeah, Newport station. Some of it is on a curve. Unfortunately, we've yeah, gone far enough along that we are on that curve. Can't really see if the doors will shut or not, so we'll wait for the guard signal. I highly doubt it'll be too long before the guard signal comes along. There we are. So let the brakes disengage and we will be ready to set off for the final leg of the journey. So Cardiff is just under 12 miles away. Still looks great. Now we've got a 30 limit as we come out of here, so we may as well stick with notch 5 until we reach there. When it does go up, it's only going up to 50. So it's very staggered sort of speed increases. So we're into the 50 zone. Let's take it up notch 4. So into the 60 zone, and we'll very quickly be into a 75 zone. And then the 95 zone is cropping up. Not sure what that building there is. we are now in the 95 zone. Cardiff is now, well, it's not even 9.5 miles away. Let's go into notch 5, we haven't done it for a while. Get us up to 95, a bit sharpish. There we are, we're at 95, drop down a few notches. Of course, last time we were on this section of track was yeah, a request. I think we were in the class 42 from Bristol to Swansea, and of course it rather ridiculously put us on the avoiding line for Cardiff station. Well, we know that we will certainly not be on an avoiding line this time. So the approach to Cardiff coming up, 40 mph speed limit there, and then very quickly down to a 20. And then down to a 15, and yeah, Cardiff station right there on the route display. So we need to stop on platform 3B. We might actually have to stop on the pair of them, because that does not look like a particularly large platform it's giving us here, especially as it's being split into two. So the points that we'll be going over are at the 20 mph zone. At 15 is, yeah, the speed limit as we are approaching the platform. That'll be the standard one. So we are in the 40 zone. We've got to be braking a bit harder than this. So we're fine for the 20 zone. We should carry on till, yeah, we're fine for the 15 zone. So we are now in the 20 zone. So it does actually look as though the 15 zone is the points. I felt certain it would be the 20 zone. So here we are at the 15. So we are taking the points, but it looks like we're just going straight on. So we have another 166 here. This looks like a 57. Could be a 47, but I'm pretty sure it's a 57. Yeah, it was a 57. We have the Millennium Stadium over here. We'll get a better look at that fairly soon. And there we are. So that was London Paddington to Cardiff Central on a single route DLC in the Class 43 with the Great Western Trains livery That was a great run. I really did enjoy that one. I like doing the long distance intercity runs if I'm in a train that's fast, and this certainly was. And I particularly like it when it's a really long distance one, but we're not having to switch route DLCs. So this has proven to be, yeah, a really great one. And the choice of train, let me just have another look around Cardiff here. The choice of train was great. I mean, I like the 43s. I think that is long since established. I do like the livery of the Great Western Trains 43 here. And I liked the fact that it wasn't super straightforward. You had to watch out for the engine overheating, and then you had to set up the ATS again, ATP. The only negative thing about it is I wish the ATP had done more. Like I say, I am certain there is an option there so that the ATP would do more. I just need to find it. But obviously the next time I drive an HST that has the ATP system fitted, I'll make sure I know how to get it so that it's doing more than it was here. But nevertheless, a 145-mile run with only 2 speeding errors. They were the only operational errors of the entire run. By my standards, that is phenomenal. Covering that distance in just over 2 hours, again, is fantastic for me. So, yeah, everything about that run went really well. That was a great one, that. Even though it wasn't a MikkDC request, yeah, if it wasn't for his video that he put up yesterday, I would never have had the idea of doing this in the first place. So, there you go. You've got him to thank, or blame, however you look at it. But there we go. That is that video done, and we will see you at the next one.